My view is this. Dean Acheson famously said about 50 years ago, Britain has lost an empire and not yet found a role. Russia has lost an empire and not yet found a role. It takes a long time. Some would say Britain has not yet found it. We cannot sit around waiting until Russia has found its role, right? We have to work out what we in Europe want to be and what our... So far, so weit, so good. Now, then we move to the disagreement, which I think I can bring to the point on this. I believe that the European Union has a strategic vital interest in enlargement to include not only Turkey, but also Ukraine. I believe that is in our vital strategic interest, and I think we should be actively pursuing it.
In which period of time?
For the position of Europe in the world. Well, as you know better than anyone, the answer to that question depends to a significant degree on the Ukrainians themselves, and as the President said rather more tactfully than I'm about to say it, they've been their own worst enemies. But if Ukraine fulfills the conditions, then certainly in a perspective of a decade, I would wish to see Ukraine a member of the European Union. I believe we should wish that from our own strategic point of view. And I also believe that Ukraine, like any other democracy, has a right to apply for membership of NATO. But unlike in the case of the EU, I don't think that is something we should be pushing in our own strategic interests. I think there's a clear difference between the two. And I can see from your reaction that there is a difference of view here. And I think the reason we should want the Ukraine in the EU has only in small part to do with Russia. It has a larger part to do with Europe itself and Ukraine itself. But that small part is that a Russia that knows it cannot recover Ukraine can no longer be an imperial Russia. And it must identify its role as that of a normal nation state. And I think that's a good thing for Europe and a good thing for Russia. But I think that's only the smaller part of the argument. But what I do feel very strongly about this is that this is the argument we should be having very frankly between us inside the European Union to reach a common European position, and not something that we should be doing unilaterally or bilaterally in our relations with Russia and in our own public context. So perhaps we could at least agree on that.